at a very unusual national park. We're at California Adventure, and this is the closest thing you'll get to here for a national park, and we love it.
Welcome to the journey.
So obviously, as you can tell, we're not really at a national park, but we are at our favorite place to go, which is a Disney resort. In this case, it's California Adventure, Disney's California Adventure. And we're in that part of the park called Grizzly Peak that has been designed to celebrate the national and state parks that we have here in the United States. When you enter the Grizzly Peak area of California Adventure, you are in what they refer to as the Grizzly Peak Airport, and it's all themed after what airports would be like in these national forest areas. The restaurant is named after smoke jumpers, and you've got a hangar that is the store, and it's where one of our favorite rides is, which is Soarin' Over California, or the new version of it is Soaring Over the World. This is a nice area in the park where you can walk. The crowds aren't too terrible, though the lines for Soarin' and the other attraction, or the other ride in the area, which is Grizzly River Rapids, those lines can be pretty long. But it's a nice area to walk through, lots of places to sit, and it's a beautiful area in the park because it's so green. They make it look like you're actually in a national forest. And if you end up getting tired of walking around and you want to relax, probably one of the most spectacular hotels that Disney has is the Grand Californian. You can just start to see it in the background here as I approach it. And what they've done that's so special in this part of the park, they have an entrance that preserves the theming of being in one of the national parks and going to one of the lodges that have been built. The Grand Californian was constructed in the Craftsman style, which is so iconic and found throughout parts of California. Here you can see the absolutely beautiful stained glass that is the main entrance of the hotel. This is the outside of it as you are approaching from the car parking area. And this is from across the street looking at the hotel. Absolutely magnificent facility. Beautiful place to just visit and relax in, and especially if you can, take the opportunity to stay here sometime. You'll see they always have a fire going over in the fireplace, and during the summer I don't particularly care to sit over in that part of the lobby, but the seats and the rest of the area are they're so comfortable, and it's just very relaxing. And then it's not really well known, but if you go up a floor or two, there are other seating areas that are also very relaxing. Here you can see some of the details just in the lamps and the glass work of the lamps. They always have these beautiful flower arrangements. They're typically dry flowers, but sometimes they have fresh flowers. This is out back at the pool area and some of the outdoor areas that surround the hotel. Again, it's a great place to stay, but it's also a great place to go and relax. And then you come back into California Adventure and you pick up with enjoying the park. as I've already mentioned, their theming is wonderful. They have tried to represent the feel of being in one of the national parks. And the other attraction, the other ride here in this part of the park is Grizzly River Rapids. And it's a rafting ride that as you can see here, I'm approaching it. And if you ride it, it's actually a lot of fun. You're very likely to get wet. And not just a little wet, a lot wet. But if you're not interested in getting wet, there's a walkway that goes around the back of the ride loading area, and it's a great walkway that's fairly secluded. There aren't usually a lot of people back there, and then you can watch as the guests that are on the ride are surprised by the geysers and end up getting super wet. A lot of people know where the geysers are and where the likelihood of getting wet are, and so they watch for it. But it's fun to watch the guests that are on the ride enjoying the ride, and it's so well done. Here I'm watching from one of the observation areas, and as I pan to the right, you can see in front of me the raft is going just between us now. There's another observation area over there, and this path that I'm on, it's a great, easy to navigate path. There's this bridge that I'm approaching that the rafts go under. You see all of the theming and what would you call it? The decoration of the ride, and it's just such an amazing amount of effort that they put into it. Here is a view of the geyser area, and people come through on the raft, and for the most part they're unscathed. But every so often these geysers will start to go off. There's one right here in the middle of the river. You see another one off to the right, and they seem to be pretty randomly timed. I'm going to continue to walk around this to this observation area that's kind of in the center of this loop of the ride. It's a great place. I stood here for probably an hour, and it was fun to just watch people on the ride. And it's a great place to wait if you have friends or family that are off in other parts of the park doing things, and you don't want to walk around or follow them around. Find a shady spot and enjoy the scenery. This is the best viewing area for watching the rafts come down the falls. It is possible for you to get wet here when the raft comes down, but it doesn't happen very often. I stood here again for a little while, and you can tell where the water has been reaching by seeing the dampness on the ground. But it was fun. to watch. This is an example of one of the rafts coming along. You can see that the geysers are going off on the sides. And then here in the middle of the river, all of a sudden the geyser goes off. And the raft covers it up, and everyone's thrilled because, yeah, they didn't really get that wet. But technically the geyser is still going off under them. And they float past it, and all of a sudden the geyser gets them from behind. It's a lot of fun. Another spot in the Grizzly Peak area of the park is this Redwood Creek Trail. And basically what they've done is they've set up a nature trail that you can walk through that shows you the kinds of things that you can find in some of the national and state parks in California. We, from a prior video, went to Lawson Volcanic National Park, and they make lots of reference to that and some of the other national parks that are in California. And they have lots of these educational exhibits to help you understand how long the trees have been standing. These trees are huge, and it's kind of amazing to think about the history that has transpired around them. And then down in the center of this nature trail, they've got a variety of activities for for the kids and the younger adults. And even some of the adults had a lot of fun going up on the net bridges and the sky walkways and stuff. Here you get to see some of the smaller kids on the zip lines. And I thought it was awesome that this cute little girl in her princess dress was riding this zip line. Just, you know, welcome to the wonder of Disney. Well, that's it for this episode of Slow Paced Journeys. We hope you've enjoyed this episode and that you will join us again in the future. Thanks for watching.